Here it is, here it is, this is it. This is vegan butter cheese. I mean, it's just a whole oxymoron all the way around. Butter cheese made vegan, but that's what this is. Now, this is what I call the butter cheese because it is a vegan cheese made from vegan butter, and it has a nice buttery and rich and cheesy flavor. Now, this is so incredibly easy to make. There's only a few ingredients. Most of the ingredients are pretty easy to find, and a few of the ingredients can just be swapped, switched, or traded. Now, if you look at all the descriptions of all of the different cheeses, cheddar cheese, brie cheese, all of the just every kind of cheese you can think of, one of the terms that's used is buttery. So I thought, why can't we just take a good vegan butter, a vegan butter made out of cashews that has that rich cashew taste that we get with a lot of our vegan cheeses already, and use one that's flavored like butter to make a cheese. So here it is. This is one of the easiest vegan cheeses I've ever made. This is just gonna take you a few minutes to put it together and a few hours in the fridge, resting time. Let's make it vegan butter cheese. You're gonna love this one. So this one's gonna be really, really simple. I mean, it's almost laughably easy. I picked up, this is the Miyokos Creamery. It's a cultured vegan butter. They say it's European style. Now, I've had this one before, and it tastes like butter. That's the reason why I'm using this particular butter for our butter cheese. Now, you should be able to pick up just about any vegan butter to use in this recipe. This is the one that I'm gonna be using, but really any vegan butter is gonna work to give you that buttery, cheesy flavor. We only need a few other ingredients, but let's get started. The very first thing that we wanna do is melt our vegan butter. So we're gonna melt the whole thing here, this whole stick. It's gonna be about a cup of vegan butter is what you need. Now, the nice thing about this cheese is it's 100% a base. So you can add like more cheddar-y flavors, you can add more like sour flavors if you want. You can really kind of go wild on it. You can add a lot more savory flavors to make it more savory. I want this to be a creamy, buttery cheese with a little pinch of tartness. We're gonna add about 1/2 teaspoon of sodium citrate. That's gonna be, this is like a sour salt. This is going to give it a little bit of that bitterness, a little bit of that tartness, like a citric acid, which is pretty much what this is. But the sodium citrate is also going to help keep this cheese together in a creamier cheese. Now, I also want to thicken this up a bit, and to do that, we're gonna do about 1 tablespoon of tapioca starch. It's all of the starch that we're gonna need, and I'm just adding that right in, and then just giving that a nice whisk, and really, really whisking it in. Make sure there's no clumps, which is kind of tough, but just do your best. Now we just need to add the firming agent to our cheese, and for this one, we're gonna be using Agar powder. Now you can use Kappa carrageenan if you like. I get a lot of comments every time I use Kappa carrageenan. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I've read a lot of the studies on it. I've read a lot of the peer-reviewed studies. Those are the ones that I pay attention to the most. I don't think there's much wrong with Kappa carrageenan. You do your own research, but I'm gonna be using Agar powder. Now, Agar comes from a red seaweed, I believe, just like Kappa carrageenan does. But we're gonna be using 2 teaspoons of the Agar in cold water, and this is Agar powder, not the flakes. And then I'm just gonna quickly whisk this in, and then just quickly whisk in the Agar cold water mixture. Now, if you don't have the sodium citrate, you could use a few different acids to get that tartness. You could use a citric acid, which is pretty much the same thing. You can also use a lactic acid. There's plenty of vegan lactic acids that are fermented beetroot. That's like a fermented beet sugar. There's a lot of like that kind of things that you could use. Or you can even just use like a lime juice or lemon juice, squeeze it in there and give it a good whisk. But this is the base of our vegan cheese. Now you can add like turmeric and paprika to color it up and flavor it up. You could add garlic powder, you could add white pepper. You can really go kind of crazy with it. Now at this point, all we're gonna do is throw this into a saucepan, put it on a low heat and continually whisk until it comes up to a simmer or you start to feel it really thicken. Once you get it to the simmering point, quickly remove it from the heat. Have your bowls prepped that you're gonna be pouring this into. I'm gonna be using 2 of these plastic takeout containers, the half soup containers. I love these, they work perfect. You could squeeze them when everything's done to kind of form out the mold. These are really great. I'm so excited. This is probably one of the easiest vegan cheeses that I make. Like, I mean, out of all of the plant-based cheeses, you don't get that much easier than this cheese. I'm gonna throw this in the refrigerator for about an hour or 2. Now, this is gonna be fairly soft. This is gonna be like a nice meltable cheese. For this kind of cheese, we could even be able to like kind of like break it off, throw it on some pizza. This is gonna be awesome. We'll come back so we can see how this is. Okay, so this has been solidifying in the refrigerator for a few hours now. It's a pretty soft cheese. It's softer than what I was expecting it to be. Maybe I might have wanted to add in another teaspoon of agar. If you were to use like a kappa carrageenan, it would probably come out even firmer if you wanted something really firm. But since we're doing a butter cheese, the fact that it's very nice and soft might actually be kind of like a nice thing. So this cheese should be relatively easy to slice. It's very, very soft. And it'll spread really similar to like a brie or something like that. But you should also be able to like really melt it pretty nice. It should have like a nice meltable quality to it, which is really, I mean, look at that. So like I said, the spreadable version of it is pretty nice. It has a nice spread to it, and it should have a really nice taste, cheesy, buttery taste. Wow. That's out of this world. Now the melted version should also have, you know, that same buttery taste, but then it should also have a little bit of like a stretch. Oh. Too much stretch to it. My God, that's so good.